The world is full of wonders.
Magic is hidden in small moments.
And monsters could be hiding just out of sight.
But if you're looking to find them,
adventure is waiting to happen.
You never know who you'll meet along the way.
We are the Storyteller Squad. Hello, adventurers! Welcome back to the Storyteller Squad. Thanks for joining us for more Monster of the Week. Before we begin, let's check in with those heroes.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of a Nording incident, you may be entitled to financial compensation. I'm Hugo Rashad. Or am I?
Hugo Rashad Nort?
Wake me up.
Wake me up inside.
I can't wake up.
Wake me up inside.
Save me.
Call my name and please somebody explain what the heck is going on, because I'm really scared right now and I need my friends.
That is how the song goes, right?
Yeah, it's totally how it goes.
Fair enough. I'm Agent Whittaker.
And I'm Raven Eugenia.
And my god, this better be a nightmare. Flawless. No notes.
Beautiful.
Fucking incredible. I love you too.
One take.
One take wonders.
One take, first take.
That was amazing. I don't know what the plural for apocalypse is. Apocalypses, apocalypse. Either way, staying pretty fly. I'm Damien Edgecrest.
I haven't a clue what's going on here, but I'll act like I do. I'm Felicity Starnbrook.
Hi, it's Natalie. And if you didn't cry over the last episode, just stay hydrated, adventurers. I can't do a recap for reasons that should be obvious if you've listened to episode 52. So just make sure to do that before you join us for this one. We can wait. Okay, you ready? Let's have an adventure. Felicity, you are in the Maple Leaf Diner, and a young girl is sitting across from you who said,
My name's Aisling.
"What do you do?"
My name's Felicity?
I know.
You know?
Yeah, I've known you for a long time.
Am I sitting or am I standing next to the booth?
You are sitting in the booth. You guys are sitting across from each other.
Okay. So, I got your name, but who are you? And how do you know me?
She goes to answer, but you're interrupted as Aidan walks over carrying a couple menus and says, "Oh, good, you're here. What did you want to get?"
Well, I think I'll have a waffle with all the toppings.
Sure. I'll be right back. She leaves. Aisling kind of watches her as she goes.
All right, so who are you?
She takes a big sip of her milkshake again.
I don't know that we've got a lot of time for introductions. Come on, we've got to follow her.
And she gets up out of the booth and follows Aidan back towards the counter.
All right, I'm going with her.
Okay. Aidan slips into the kitchen, and Aisling climbs up onto one of the bar stools at the diner counter and just sits drumming her fingers on the chrome countertop surface.
Are you here to help, Aidan?
Yeah, we've got to do it together. I can't do it by myself, so...
Yeah, okay. Sure thing, I guess.
Sorry. This is probably a little weird for you.
Yeah, this is all weird.
Felicity, roll Investigate a Mystery.
Okay. 9.
You can ask one question.
What is being concealed here?
You look around the diner. Once again, you see Agent Whittaker on a laptop, sipping at a cup of coffee in one of the booths. You see Raven actually walks over and they start chatting. Seem like they know each other.
Can I get you anything else?
Yeah, another refill on the coffee would be great. Raven, right?
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
You too. I'll be right back with that.
Well, this is weird.
You see Raven walks by you, Felicity, as you sit on the counter.
Raven?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good.
That's good.
She moves behind the counter and starts making coffee.
This is very unsettling.
See, Hugo comes in. Ding, 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 ding. He's got a couple books under his bag, sits down a couple bar stools down from you.
Hey, Raven.
Hey.
Maury says that you have lesson teaching next week, so you might want to get ready for that.
Ooh, got it. Thanks. You want your usual?
Yes, please.
Awesome.
And Felicity, you look around this diner, and outside, through the windows, with the blinds sort of drawn open, autumn falls starts to get hazy beyond a certain point.
It's video game loading.
Yes, very much so. It is almost procedurally generating very slowly outwards from the Maple Leaf Diner. You see a person with a lot of piercings and a very wild outfit getting their change at the register and about to leave.
Fuck me up with caffeine. Let's go.
Have a good one.
Bless you.
Aidan comes out of the kitchen. She has your plate with the waffle on it, sits it down. Eat up. Looks delicious.
Thanks. I'm gonna lean over and I'm gonna whisper, what are we supposed to do?
And Aisling looks at you, looks at Aidan, and then just whispers back to you.
It's not real.
Well, I know that.
Maybe we should tell her?
Tell her what? That it's not real?
They shrug.
Hey, Aidan!
She turns around. She's like filling up some waters. Yeah?
Come here for a second, whenever you're all set.
Comes over, leans on the counter. Can I help you? How's your waffle?
It's pretty good, but... And I'm gonna lean in real close. Aidan, you know this isn't real, right?
You see her eyes glaze over, and she cracks like a pane of glass in a mirror. Aidan shatters, and all around you, the diner also is torn away as if it's being erased and deleted. Fuck. And you and Aisling fall through white space.
Whoa.
Why did you tell me to do that?
Hugo, you are in the dark void that we left you. The person with the staticked out face is just standing in front of you, quivering a little as if they were crying while standing in place.
I had asked them if I should know who they are, and they just started crying.
Yes, that is exactly where we're picking up.
Okay. Hey, whoa. Calm down. It's okay. Where are we? Who are you?
No, it's not okay. If you don't remember me, then I just... How could you forget me?
It's probably not your fault. I've been forgetting a lot of stuff lately.
And they kind of walk over to you and put their hands on your arms. And they say desperately,
Hugo, it's me. It's...
And when they say their name, it gets scrambled like a mixtape rewinding backwards and the ribbon being damaged.
Oof.
I don't understand. How could you not remember? It was so important.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand you. It's not clicking. I'm sorry.
And they just embrace you and cry into your shirt.
Just don't leave me again. Please, Hugo.
And at that one, he actually hugs back, and there's a look of not just concern, but disappointment on his face. As if he knows he's done something wrong, and he's not quite sure what.
Thin strands, almost imperceptible, but you catch the little shine of light, again from an indeterminate source, as they drift down and rest onto this person's jacket and vest, and then go taut and start to tug and pull. And not abruptly, not violently, but steadily, you feel them start to be drawn away from you and lifted off the plane that you are grounded on.
He's going to start trying to pull back.
Okay. Act under pressure.
9.
You grasp at their hands, and they say,
Hugo, whatever happens, you've got to know, I never...
and you grasp them tightly. You don't want to lose this clue, but threads start to land on your clothes, and you feel yourself being pulled in an opposite direction, and the two of you are being pulled apart.
I guess in that moment, as they're being pulled away, he's going to try to memorize the bits of the clothing as best as possible.
The only thing that stands out as notable is this vest, this denim vest that is embroidered down the front. And you two are actually separated finally by the tug of these threads. And they are suspended, arms and legs akimbo in a web. And you similarly are held in a different web parallel with them. But as they are flung into it, you catch a glimpse of the back of this vest, which has two hands. The theta symbol hands are embroidered on the back of this denim vest. You are suspended there, and you start to feel this buzzing in your ears. Something's not quite right here. Roll investigate a mystery.
Yeah, an 8. Not bad for no modifier.
Yeah, still one question.
We've already asked this one once this session, but I guess we'll ask it again.
Hey, if it's the question you want to ask, you can ask whatever you want.
What is being concealed here?
Hugo, this doesn't feel real to you. This is starting to take on the feeling of a nightmare. And you recall now that you were in the middle of a fight against Aidan, and then you guess you wound up at the agency and were fighting Whittaker, but then you were here because Felicity showed up? The pieces are not fitting together, and the logic of it is now glaringly obvious to you as faulty. Agent Whittaker.
Oh, he's an agent again? Thank God.
Well.
Oh, the nightmare continues.
That's the narrator. I can call you whatever I want.
Okay, sure.
We pick up where we left off with you in the EC agency headquarters as Felicity is going supernova, her magic about to unleash untold destruction on this building and presumably the surrounding region. And you were not sure what you were going to do next, but you hear a familiar voice whisper to you as you stare at your friend now vibrating and humming, almost as if the edges of her form are getting fuzzy and breaking down into their molecular components.
Ooh.
Well. Good to see you, love. The voice of Errant Webb whispers in your ear.
God, as if my day just couldn't get any better.
In fact, they step behind you. You can feel a single hand tap onto your shoulder in a familiar, friendly way, but given everything that happened between you and transpired way back in the UK, that it's friendly in a menacing way. And they just say, Jesus, Alonso, you really going and mucked this one up, haven't you?
Did you come all the way across the water to tell me that?
Fuck, I came over because I was worried. I kind of had a feeling you'd be in trouble eventually. You've got no powers. You were only ever really good at one thing. They glance down at the gun at your side. You recall the times where you were forced to draw that weapon on a friend in the line of duty.
Shut up.
I'm here to make things easier for you. Just reminding you of who you are.
You've never, in the entirety of the time I've known you, made things easier for me.
The hand that's on your shoulder draws across your back and cups your chin, while their other hand reaches down for your gun hand and starts to lift it into the air. And they say, "It's do or die, mate."
I can't. Not her.
You really think she's worth all of the West Coast? Your little sanctuary from home? From me?
I said I'd keep her safe.
Yeah, you promised that to a lot of folks, Alonso. How's that working out for you?
I'll shoot you before I shoot her.
Go ahead and try. We both know what'll happen. Whittaker, roll investigate a mystery.
Sure. Sure. It's a fail. It's a 6.
Do you want it to be a 6?
Hold on. How much luck do I have? Yeah, I've got luck to spare. Yeah, that'll be a full success.
Okay. 2 questions.
What can hurt it?
Are you asking about Webb or Felicity?
Both. Would the gun actually solve the problem in this situation?
You know that your gun would do nothing against errant Webb because it is not enchanted and they are a vampire.
Yep, makes sense.
However, they are presenting you with a devil's choice. You could just go down with Felicity and the rest of Oregon, maybe the rest of the West Coast. But if she's not alive, she can't be a conduit for anything. And for all intents and purposes, she is a normal person.
And what is being concealed here?
How the fuck is errant Webb here?
How the fuck is errant Webb here?
None of that makes sense, Whittaker. In fact, a lot of things aren't making sense the more you think about it. Damien was attacking the agency, but then it was the Whispered? No, it was Hugo. Why would Hugo go after the agency? That doesn't seem like him. You're mad at him, but that doesn't seem like Hugo at all. And now Felicity is about to explode? Something is off. And you look at errant Webb's face, grinning and trying to convince you to shoot at your friend, and this doesn't feel real to you.
You know, it figures. All the times I've seen you since England, it's only been in my nightmares.
Raven, we pick up where we left off with you on the ground, sobbing in front of a pile of dust and ash where Aidan once stood, and the forest around you burned of its foliage, just the blackened, charred remains of the largest trees left. There are footsteps behind you, and sort of a deep, guttural exhale. And then a shine of gold light. And you hear your brother's voice. Raven, what did you do?
I don't know.
Jay steps forward from behind him.
The first light is gone. The world will be a darker place from now on.
I didn't mean to.
Lark comes over and kneels beside you, runs his hands through the dirt and the ash on the ground. I knew those cards were dangerous the first time I saw you use them.
They're all gone now.
You really think you should be doing this anymore?
Not after this. I didn't mean for this to happen. I was just trying to save everyone. Aidan, she was going to hurt Whittaker. I couldn't let her hurt him. I thought I saved her. And then she was gone. Is she gone?
You hear your mom's voice. And you look over and she's standing off to the side, kind of hugging your dad. Raven, you murdered someone.
I didn't. I was just trying to protect my friends. I was trying to save her.
Dad looks at you. He says, why didn't you tell us what was going on? Could have helped or something.
All of this is so far beyond anything you guys would understand. How are you even here? What is happening?
Investigate a mystery, Raven.
That's a 10.
2 questions.
Okay. Where did it go? And what is being concealed here?
You're asking about Aidan?
Yes. Something's not right. My parents are here.
Yeah, something isn't right.
Something's really wrong.
How are they here? How is Lark here? And Jay? Why would they know to come to West Virginia?
Lark and Jay is like, all right, maybe. But my parents?
Mm-hmm.
This is not... I don't like this.
Yeah. And you don't see any of your other friends around here anymore either.
I'm still like in the woods. They're just gone.
You're in the campsite. There's like the smoldering wreckage of the trailer, but Felicity's gone, Hugo's gone, Whittaker's gone. Where the heck is everybody?
Yeah.
Where did it go? You've seen Aidan draw close to death a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And every time she has flickered and been forced to remain here on the earth.
She always comes back.
You know this about her. Her exile keeps her on the earth, no matter what.
Yeah, she can't be gone.
This doesn't feel real, Raven. something is off about what you're experiencing, and you can feel Aidan's not gone.
If she's not gone, then I'm going to go find her.
Damien, we pick up with you where we left off, trying to avoid a battle with the Flatwoods demon.
Milking that luck point for all it's worth.
Yes, as Ray/Inari, the Guardian, defends you and tries to keep this monster from focusing its efforts on the barrier and getting at your friends who are still inside. But Aidan is inside, corrupted by whatever is afflicting her and this other celestial, and your barrier is starting to crack and fracture. Pieces of it are dropping away like it's a glass dome, and there are chips just falling inwards and disintegrating. What is your plan?
You said it looked like people might be waking up soon. How long do I have to keep the barrier up for?
You saw Felicity wake up, and Felicity now is in the barrier. You can see her glowing in a ring that looks like folk magic. Mira was thrown against the barrier, actually, by one of Aidan's long branch extensions that are growing out of her. So Mira is kind of leaning up against the edge of the barrier, and for the sake of narrative and fun, we'll say she's just right there next to you as Ray engages with Flatwoods for this moment.
Wake up the rest of them. What do you need?
I don't know how much help I'll actually be for the rest of them. It was only through our connection that I was able to figure out what was wrong with Felicity in the first place. What's going on anyway? What the heck is that thing?
Angelic spirit, I can't let it touch me, and vice versa, or apocalypse. So we've got our blue flame spirit helping me out while I dodge branches and stuff.
A vine whips by your head. You kind of do the thing where like your top half separates, it goes between you, and you flop back down.
So, avoiding the apocalypse, but they do need to wake up. Can you get them outside the barrier so I can help them?
I'll do my best to keep your friends safe. You just, let's not end the world tonight, okay?
That's the plan.
What can you do about this?
And even just her tapping at it, there's a little crack that forms in it.
Okay, gentle. Easy does it.
Sorry, I didn't know.
I'll do another round.
You're gonna try and reinforce the barrier?
Yep, Damien's gonna ring around the rosy.
Yeah, use magic.
11.
Nice, no glitch at all.
Flawless.
You doing a quick break with Mira, like, all right, we have a plan, let's go. And you both take off, reinforcing the chalk circle in places where the magic itself was starting to unravel. And it shines again with that gold energy. As you pump more of the spark into this barrier to keep your friends safe from at least one angelic being. You see Mira dashes over towards Felicity, who is kind of lifting off the ground now, her hair whipping, her eyes glowing. And Mira says,
"Not to rush you, darling, but we don't exactly have all night. Might it help if I said I believe in you?"
And then there's a little sound at her feet. She looks down, and Windy has padded up next to her and kind of tilts their head up at Mira and flicks their ears a couple times. And she just says,
"Oh, hello, little friend. Yes, I know. All right, well, I could use some help."
And Windy hops up onto Mira's shoulder, and they both face step and appear next to Raven and shift her out of the way as a branch erupts from the ground underneath her. Then Windy leaps off and fires one of its quills at a tendril of roots that were snaking towards Hugo's throat and blasts them back. And Mira spins around on her deer hooves, does a quick another step, and rolls with Whittaker as another branch and one of Aidan's wings slams down into the dirt where he was lying. Aidan is still writhing, and just there is that every once in a while as she twitches and jerks. And Whittaker is not awake. Mira's shaking him, and she says,
"Come on, boss. Don't leave us hanging. We could really use some help."
Felicity, you and Aisling fall through this empty space.
What?
Why'd you tell me to do that? Great line.
Thank you.
You see a field of grass below you racing up to meet you. You blink and sit up in this field. Ashling's next to you. She also sits up.
Whew. Well, that was no fun at all.
No, that was pretty awful.
You're in this field and you hear a roar. And you look around trying to get your bearings, and there is a demon with a massive maw. In fact, this demon is mostly mouth with rows and rows of teeth and tusks and horns poking out of it, like a warped version of the Hodag. And you recall this demon. This is a fight that you and your friends went through in the past couple weeks. This is one of Beelzebub's monsters that was sent after you. And this horrible monster is running towards you, Felicity, in this battle. It opens its mouth and these tendrils shoot out of the void within it. And one wraps around your leg, another wraps around your waist and starts to pull you into the mouth. As you're freaking out, because you're still getting your bearing, you hear, Felicity, I've got you! And Aidan comes swooping in, gold wings extended. She grabs onto your hand and digs her heels into the ground of this field, scraping along, fighting to pull you back and to avoid being eaten. And Raven, in Windy's armor, running through the air on the wind, draws a quill and fires it at the tendril, which rends these tendrils attaching themselves to you apart. And so you and Aidan go sprawling back into the grass as the tension is snapped. But as you're getting up and kind of rolling off of her, you see Hugo running forward, his tattoos alight, and he is laughing as he charges this monster and throws coils of lightning around it and calls out to someone else.
Ha! We got this thing. Whittaker, take the shot.
And we see a young man in a suit with ginger orange hair.
Oh my god.
And a bright smile on his face.
Nice work, everyone.
And he fires a blast of this divine energy from a rifle, which lances through the creature. And while that's happening, Raven lands next to you, walking down the air as if on invisible steps, and helps Aidan to her feet.
Are you okay?
Yeah, nice shot.
Nice catch.
And the two of them briefly kiss as the demon explodes behind them.
Oh my god!
Felicity, Aisling tugs on your shirt sleeve as you sit and get up in the dirt.
Something's wrong here too. Can you feel it?
It's a little off, yes.
This is not how you remember this fight going, Felicity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously there are the details that didn't happen, but like, the fight didn't even go this successfully. People were hurt. And also, where the hell is Damien? But yeah, Aidan just goes over to Hugo and Whittaker. She's congratulating them. I mean, you assume it's Whittaker. It sounds like Whittaker, just a lot younger.
It's the only British guy now.
I mean, it's his face. It's just, it doesn't have any of the wrinkles. His hair is not gray. And she just seems to be happily, like, congratulating everyone on another successful monster hunt.
Yeah, this is, hey, Aidan?
She turns around, kind of jogs over to you. Are you hurt? Are you okay?
No, but I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Are you sure this is real?
Her eyes glaze over again, and she shatters. Everyone else standing there also vanishes. The field around you reverse procedurally generates, being sucked up into the air. And Aisling quickly grabs your hand, and the two of you are shunted in a different direction through this white space.
Oh god, why did I do that again?
I think we're making progress.
Hey, Damien. The barrier is reinforced. You hear a cry. Ah! As the Guardian is slammed into the ground, several vines wrapping around their ethereal form and stretching and pulling at them. They're trying to burn them away, but the vines from the Flatwoods demon are forming so quickly that it is looking like a losing battle. And something within you flares to life again, You'll recall that when I described the Flatwoods first emerging, there was something primal in you that wanted to fight it. You know now that that's a bad desire to give into. But oh man, do you want to fight this thing? It would feel so good. And you'd be saving your friends. That's the right thing to do, isn't it? How bad could an apocalypse be? I need you to act under pressure, Damien.
Oh boy. Act under pressure's cool. Got a little bit of math to that. King of the fucking world, baby. Let's go. 12.
Okay. What does Damien do to tamp down this primal desire, his demon lord status making itself known to him?
Instead of getting out the lighter fluid and 151 that he was initially thinking of, which is tad aggressive.
Yeah.
His strategy is more to go to Ray and reinforce them directly. Try to supercharge them. That way she can take care of all this and make it better.
Okay. Sounds like use magic to me.
Good. That's how I was trying to phrase it. Nothing ever happens when we use magic.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
We've got an 8.
Okay. Just a glitch then.
You know what? I'll take the harm. We've been fine so far.
Sure. And that makes a lot of sense too, because as you rush to Ray, avoiding the vines, a gloopy tendril alights with the spark energy. And you see as their flames were starting to go out, almost revealing Ray's form, not just Inari, but like Inari was being dissipated by having to expend so much of the foxfire. But as soon as you touch them on the arm or maybe the center of the chest, that blue fire blazes, and you see they glance at you, the bright eyes in the flame smiling, and say,
"Truly you are unlike any demon lord that has ever been. Thank you, Mr. Edgecrest."
And they burn the vines that are wrapped around them away. The blue fire chases the vines up towards Flatwoods like a wick, and there is an explosion of foxfire at the demon's base form. Well done, Damien. Hello, Hugo. Now that you have a sense that this space, this experience, all of these things you have recently had happen could be an illusion of some kind, what do you do?
I have a really, really dumb idea of what he'd do.
Let's hear it. Unless you have a really, really smart idea. Also.
Well, it's trying to use magic within a dream space, or whatever space this is,
to
do something beyond human capability, which is to retether to reality.
Yeah. Go ahead, use magic.
Okay, it wasn't that dumb of an idea. It's an 11, so...
So, Hugo, you feel yourself suspended by these threads, but you don't hear Dr. Kabe's voice, which is odd. They're usually accompanied, right? All you can hear is now this muffled, sad sound of the person with the staticked out face, and their words being... every couple times they try to reach out and call to you. As unreal as everything here seems, that doesn't. But you know that if this is indeed a false experience, that your friends are in trouble and you need to get back to them right away. Aidan was in a bad way when you lost consciousness for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to ask you, this place is a lie. What truth does Hugo realize and cling to as his way to return to real events?
Seeing as he's in a void, strung up on a web.
And I'll say this too, think about everything that's happened since this started, right? Because this has been a series of lies that have been shown to you.
For all the terrible, terrible things that the Whispered have done, the last thing they're going to do is really let Hugo actually be the catalyst for them doing something else. The last thing that Carla's going to do is actually follow through with one of Hugo's plans. And also, he was wearing his armor. Why was he wearing his armor? He never does that.
Yep, all of these things are true. And you start to see the space break apart around you, Hugo, and dissipate into a brightness. Hugo, you might not understand everything happening to you right now. You might feel uneasy about your relationship with Dr. Kabe. You might even have an inkling that this person with the static out face who you can't recall might actually be connected to you somehow. But if there is one thing Hugo Rashad is good at, it's finding out secret things. And whiteness fills your eyes the same way it did when Aidan first flashed her wings. Whittaker, you stand facing the visage of Errant Webb. Felicity continues to react off to the side. The wind is whipping. You feel heat and force being pressed against you, but it's like it's hitting you through a veil of some kind now. You can ignore it. It doesn't seem to matter anymore because things here are not making sense. This does not feel real. What would you like to do?
He's going to look at Errant, and he's going to just sort of tug on the collar of his shirt a bit. He's like, finish the job. I want to see if you can.
Errant grins. Their vampire fangs elongate in their mouth, and they say,
Well, you always were a glutton for punishment.
bites down on your collarbone again. You feel it pierce you. You start to feel yourself growing faint as blood trickles out of you, but again, it's distant. It doesn't feel quite the same as the first time it happened. Read a bad situation.
Yeah, I think I will. Well, it's an 8.
Okay, you get 1.
What's my best way out?
Thank you, Emery.
Yeah.
Whittaker, you have been shown a series of lies. A series of things that seem to prey on all of your doubts and all of your insecurities, the things that have kept you up at night as you try to protect your little family of friends from all the dangers that are besetting you. And you have to get back to them. At this point, you don't even hear Aaron's words anymore. You can see their mouth moving and blood dripping from it as they try to taunt you, but it's just quiet and muffled. You feel a certain calm settle into the pit of your chest. This is not real. What is a truth about Whittaker that you are going to cling to in order to escape this false experience?
That he can trust his friends, that he has no reason to hurt them, and never will have a reason to hurt them, that the idea that one day all of his friends are going to betray him is not an idea that comes from them, but it's an idea that comes from the vampire standing in front of him. A vampire who has no right to be here right now.
Gun in your hand, you would never point that at Felicity. Even to save yourself, even to save everyone. That is not something you are willing to do anymore. And you are not defined by the mistakes you've made in the past. Hugo is your friend. Damien, for all his faults, has been your friend. You gotta get back and help them. And you see Errant Webb shine from within and explode. Felicity explodes. The entire Eastie agency is blown away as if it were made of sand. And you see a bright flash fill your vision the same way it did when Aidan first flapped her wings. Raven, what do you do in this strange space, which you're getting an inkling now probably isn't real? In fact, you need it not to be real, given what's just happened.
She's going to stand up and start backing away from everyone. Trying to clock, is there anything really off that I can pinpoint? I need to get away from here.
Yeah, the figures of your family, Lark, Jay, your mom and dad, they watch you, but not naturally. Their eyes are just trained on you now, seeming to like want to hit you with a lot of judgment and guilt, but their faces don't look like their faces to you anymore. That's not the way your brother looks. That's not your mom and dad, for sure. They would never look at you that way. They have never looked at you that way. And so you look for something to get you out of here. Read a bad situation.
That's a 14. Read a bad situation. I have a 12 plus advance move thing.
Okay.
What do I get for that?
You get 3 questions, and you can ask me anything you want, not just the listed ones.
Are there any dangers I haven't noticed?
No. This space feels empty now, like there is nothing left to throw at you.
Okay. What's my best way out?
Love this. Raven, you have been shown a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel it now. Everything about what you have just experienced is untrue.
So all of it.
Mm-hmm. And you need to wake up. You need to get back to reality right away.
Mm-hmm.
What is a truth about Raven that she's going to cling to in order to get back?
That she loves her group of friends and she needs to find them so she can protect them.
Okay. You look around. You look at these figures, which are now just sort of blurry, dark shapes, as you back away into this charred forest, which also is very hazy. Everything is blurring. But you hold on to that thing which has made you the binding force of this group lately.
I think she does the thing where she like scrubs her face with her shirt sleeve and like wipes her tears away, and she's backing up and just to keep an eye on the creepy figures that aren't her family, but she's moving quick and she's on a mission now. She's like straightening her shoulders and her back, and she's gonna get the fuck out of here.
I love it. Yeah. In fact, you pull your hand away as you're wiping the tears from your hands, and they're glowing with that silver white light. Your magic is not tied to a deck of cards, Raven Eugenia. It's yours, and you will master it eventually. But for now, you have to get back to your friends. Your hands glow so brightly that the white light fills your vision the same way it did when Aidan first flapped her wings.
Can I ask my last question?
Mm-hmm.
Where did Aidan go?
You know now that Aidan isn't gone, but she's still in trouble, and she needs you.
Hang on, Aidan. I'm on my way.
Felicity.
Yeah.
That white space you and Aisling are rocketing through darkens around you. You feel your momentum slowing, and eventually you just take one step forward and you and she are in a dark cave. A cold, moist cavern with water dripping from the ceiling and pooling in small indentations of the rocks at your feet.
Oh, fuck, wait.
And ahead of you, you hear the sound of battle. Aisling looks at you. Her face is frightened, but she squeezes your hand and she says,
I think we've got to keep going.
Going, what, further out of the cave? Or further through whatever this time shit is?
Well, we've got to find Aidan.
Right?
You creep forward and peer over a couple of rocks into a open space in this cavern. There is a hole in the cavern ceiling, letting light stream in.
Mm-hmm.
And there are blue runes and rivulets of a glowing crystal in the stone of this place. And you see Aidan and someone else engaged in a fight against massive humanoids.
I'm going to turn to Aisling and I'm going to say, what do I do? How do I get her away from them?
Aisling looks frozen stiff with fear, and she says,
That's King Orden, leader of the giants, the Fomorian king.
You see a tall male figure with a white beard and blue skin and darker blue war paint across his face is engaged in a sword fight with a woman who looks to be 6'3" and made of metal. Like her, not physically, but her muscles are just rippling and flexing as she swings her sword in opposition to his, a massive blade, which you recognize, Felicity, as the sword that Agent Ross wields.
I was just gonna say, do I know that sword?
You know that sword for sure. You see Aidan flies up and punches the king in the face with her glowing fist, and he stumbles back, and Aidan drops down back to back with this woman, and they charge at the remaining guard of the giants here. They move as if they are dancing, not just with their opponents, but with each other. A dance they've done 1,000 times before, and despite the overwhelming odds and all of the opposition they're facing right now, they seem happy fighting at each other's side. And Aisling just clings to you, shaking, watching as these massive creatures attack the two women in the cave. But at last, Freya, you don't know her name, but the woman draws her sword across the throat of the giant king, which severs his beard, but then you see dark blood pour out of his throat, and he falls forward onto the ground. She rests her sword on the ground, turns to look at Aidan, who lands from the air and rushes over, and they just hold on to each other. They joke, they wipe some of the grime of battle off each other's faces. Aisling stands up and runs over to them. What do you do?
I'll follow her.
Okay. You see she's running over, and she slows down as she gets within a few feet of them. They don't look at her. It's like they can't see her.
Mm-hmm.
When you catch up, she just sadly says,
I don't think this is real either. I don't think this is how this happened.
Felicity, you recall the vision that you had of Aidan and Ross fighting in this cave back when you were in Echo Bay. And your vision starts to flicker, and the scene in front of you changes. The bodies of the giants are the same, but where Aidan and this woman are standing alters every couple of seconds, and it becomes a scene of Aidan cradling the woman's hand as she bleeds out, that massive sword driven through her chest and into the stone. And then it flickers back, and they are joking and laughing and cleaning each other's armor and weapons and clothing.
I will turn to Aisling and say, this isn't right.
No, it's not. But I wish it was.
I think we're getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
I will walk up to Aidan. Does she notice me?
No. She still doesn't regard you. It's like you're a ghost in this space.
Can I touch your face?
Your hand kind of passes through. The vision does flicker again. Back to the more horrific and tragic scene of Aidan just on her knees, begging as the other woman is yelling at Aidan, "Go!
Just hold on. I can fix it.
You have to go!
Freya, please. I can't lose you."
So in that case, I will just lean in close to Aidan. Aidan, I'm so sorry, but this isn't real either.
She lowers her head, and the scene in front of you cracks and shatters forward like a painting on glass. And there is darkness ahead, and you just hear Aisling's voice say,
I don't want to keep going.
We have to.
I hate what comes next.
I know. I had a feeling, but we can't stay here.
The cavern behind Aisling is starting to break away, just slowly in chunks, breaking apart into pieces that also disappear into the darkness.
If we're gonna go, at least come with me, and I'll reach out my hand.
She grabs it right away, and the two of you fly through this darkness. You feel her hug at your waist. When you open your eyes, you are in a familiar, archaic village on fire.
Ugh. Ugh.
All right, take a breath, and let's take a break. Congratulations, you've survived to the mid-reel. Natalie and company are being pulled into Dante's Inferno right now, so Aday and I are taking the reins for the break today.
When you think about it, things would probably go a lot better if we had some lucky dice on our side. Speaking of...
Aday, you're absolutely right, because this week's promo swap is with the Lucky Die podcast. Let's listen to their promo.
You see, looking up from the ground, blood-red clouds boiling across the sky.
You did ask me to bring the thunder.
Dejin! Help! I've got the chalice, please!
Well, if they're following you, then I guess that takes care of a loose end for me.
All of you feel the earth beneath you shake and crack and break.
I feel that I have failed both of you, and I am sorry for that.
This has nothing to do with you being a bad leader.
Do you want a countdown? Oh, I think I want a countdown.
I wanted
3,
to help. I always had good
2,
intention. I
1.
did not deserve to die.
Now.
The Lucky Die podcast is a weekly 5e Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. Join our adventure every Monday wherever you download podcasts by searching for The Lucky Die.
You can find The Lucky Die on Twitter at TLDpod.
As always, thank you for listening to the show and sharing us with friends or leaving reviews.
I know it goes without saying, but saying is actually very important. Word of mouth is the best way to bring new adventurers into our community.
If you want to hear from us in the virtual space as well as the audio space, you can follow us on social media for updates, artwork, and memes. We are at Story Squadcast on Twitter, and our link tree is in the show notes.
And just in case, if you'd like to support our Patreon and join our community Discord for AMA streams, chill vibe hangouts, and soon live listening parties, head over to patreon.com/The Storyteller Squad.
I don't want to keep you away from the torture much longer, so for now, hydrate and take care, adventurers. Let's get back to the episode.
Felicity. People are running and screaming all around you. You've seen this scene before in your visions numerous times now, but never from this vantage point. In fact, you don't see any fire being thrown around at all, but Aisling grips your hand tightly.
Please don't let go. I'm scared.
I think at this moment, Felicity would maybe realize where she knows her from.
Yeah, you would put together now that you know Aisling because you've had visions of her multiple times now.
Yeah. She has been in this mindset of like, I know you, but I don't know where I know you from. Like, I know I've seen you, but now she's like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll grip her hand a little harder and she'll look at her. This is you, isn't it?
She looks like she's maybe about to cry. She sniffles a little, but she says,
This isn't me.
She looks away from you down this lane where people are running past you screaming, and you see Aidan in the air, shining like a sun on the earth, wrathful and screaming and enacting her revenge on the Tuatha De Danann, the people of this village. And as people flee and run past you, they are hit by beams of radiant light that shoot from Aidan's hands and wings, and those people are instantly reduced to dust. The buildings around you are blasted apart, animals scatter from their pens, and above the sounds of all this chaos, you can hear Aidan's mournful screaming as she rages against these humans. You've never actually seen this vision before, Felicity. The town you recognize, but this vision of Aidan destroying the town is brand new to you. You've seen someone casting fire and lightning and wind, elemental magic attacking a few people, but the people rallying against this spellcaster, not running away in fear and panic. You remembered the destruction of the village, not the defeat of these people. Make a sharp check, just a straight sharp check, to see something you might recall.
Dad!
Felicity, you have had at least 2 conversations with Aidan about the time she killed people. And you are seeing that right now. You can see past Aidan, laying on the ground, is a small form riddled with arrows. What do you do?
I will turn to Aisling.
She's still clinging to you. She's scared.
Listen, I know you're scared, and I'm so sorry. And we don't have much time, but how do you know Aidan? She seems to be in every single one of these, and I know this is literally the worst one to ask you, but how do you know Aidan? Because she's my friend, and I know her now, and this is forever ago. How do you know her?
She's my mom, but she would never do this. This isn't my mother.
But she was? Before this?
Yes.
She looks back at you.
Make it stop. How do we stop it?
Aisling, I need you to trust me, okay?
I do.
Stay here. And I'm gonna run out into the open. Aidan!
She looks at you. She hears you are calling her name. Her face so glowing brightly that it's hard to make out her expression. But when you call her name, she grabs at the sides of her head and just yells, "No! No, 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 you can't see this!
This isn't real!"
She shatters again, and the village ripped away like all the other visions before it. Whittaker, Hugo, Raven, you all experience a flash of white light and blink your eyes open for the first time in several minutes. You are laying on the ground at the campsite. You are covered in a strange gray dust, like spores and pollen. But all 3 of you wake up and hear the cry of Aidan and the Flatwoods Monster. You are back in reality. You see Felicity floating in the air in a ring of fairy light. Green energy crackling around her and protecting her from the spores which are being emitted every time Aidan, in her corrupted form, flaps her wings. And in fact, Whittaker, you are helped to your feet quickly and abruptly before you can really get a sense of what's going on. And Mira is standing in front of you.
Right, up you come. There's not a lot of time to catch you up, but suffice to say, things are bad.
And she steps, and you see her in midair sidekick with her deer hooves a branch that was coming down to strike at Hugo as he gets to his feet. And she lands on the ground and seems to have been protecting you all from Aidan's monster form lashing out at you.
You're welcome, guys.
And you all rise to your feet. You can see the barrier has been reinforced with golden light, and through that barrier, you see another creature with a wooden mask and plant life and growth emitting from it, engaged in a fiercely pitched battle against the Guardian, as Damien seems to be avoiding attacks. What do the 3 of you do?
So I will say, this is the first time we are dropping the name Flatwoods Monster.
I've been saying it a bunch.
Oh, never mind. Cool. First time for me, I guess.
First time I've heard it, I think.
We're late to the party.
Okay, yep. Cool. That's fine. I guess I'm just out of the loop.
This is the first time your 3 characters have seen this creature, because it arrived after you all were knocked unconscious by the fear spores.
For real. I saw a not real version of it.
Yes.
Whoa, what was happening in your dream?
Oh, we'll get there.
Sure, it's fine.
We will get there.
Okay, when we hear the scream of Aidan and the Flatwoods Monster, are they two separate entities,
Yes.
or are they...
Aidan's monstrous form is within Damien's barrier, and the other creature is outside of it.
Cool. Okay, cool.
And every once in a while, you see the barrier ripple as vines and roots from outside lash and claw and scrape against it, trying to tear the magic away.
I have an idea, but I also am fine if anyone else wants to go first.
Go, girl.
I think you're allowed to go, Raven.
I was trying to strategize earlier, and now that things are kind of the same, I want to go try it.
Do it. Hell yeah.
Go the distance.
Windy comes bounding up to you, Raven, and leaps into your arms, and they just hug you tight.
Hell yeah. I give them a little squeeze. Very glad to have them. So as soon as Raven is free from the vines and stuff, she's going to run over to the edge of the barrier closest to the Flatwoods Monster.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use magic to bar a place or portal to a specific person or a type of creature. And what I want to do is bar the inside of the Flatwoods creature's armor from the Flatwoods creature. I want to make a protective bubble on the inside of the armor and force the creature out.
Targeting the mask type thing.
Natalie's doing her keeper face. I think that's a very cool idea.
It's a very cool idea, but Raven, that's getting very metaphysical.
I will say that it is based on something you specifically described to me.
Mm-hmm.
The way you described me seeing the Flatwoods Monster.
With the salamander's vision.
Yes. I don't see it anymore, but I know what I did see.
What you saw was the bright light of a sun being shielded by dark something, blocking it from fully shining, right? Am I recalling correctly what you had seen?
Yes.
Okay.
I was thinking of that dark shield like the same thing that Aidan had happening, so I was hoping to get underneath that.
It is the same, but it's not a coat of armor. The Flatwoods Monster is draped in these dead leaves, and it's very thin and skeletal and frail. There are withered wings on its back that almost seem like they're not doing anything. They're just tied up in more vines, almost like a marionette's handle that the vines are rasped to and then swinging and dangling it from. It's not that the Flatwoods Monster has plates of things all over it. It's that you are seeing its spark. And its spark is a small orb at the core of it that is as bright as a sun, shielded by an impenetrable blackness with only a few cracks allowing the light out of it.
Okay.
And that's also what is happening with Aidan, and I described
Yes.
that through Whittaker's glasses as well, but it's not their physical bodies, it is the essence, the core of them. That is a visual representation of something afflicting their sparks.
Okay.
So.
All right. That makes more sense. Dang it.
Yeah. Sorry, that wasn't clear.
That's okay. Someone else can go while I think of something else to do.
But wait, does Raven share that information? Is there time?
Whittaker, you've got the glasses on. This is the thing that was in the woods that you saw earlier. Raven now has seen that. So you both, I think, could put together that this is another celestial for sure. I'll give you that information at least.
If you want, since you described it better and Raven won't try to do that, I am fine with her like waking up from this and yelling out to the group that the Flatwoods Monster is having the same thing happen to it that is happening to Aidan right now, and just get that information out. It might not be evil. It is also corrupted.
Well, we don't know what to do about the first thing, so...
But I'm just very afraid of outright killing it because I think it might be good.
Damien, you can hear your friends talking inside the barrier. God, it'd be nice to get some reinforcements.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Plan faster. We've got 2 of these plant things coming after us. Just hurry up, use some magic, and we'll get out of here.
Sorry, Raven, you're outnumbered.
Is that I'm gonna kick this thing's ass from Whittaker?
I think it has to be.
Okay. Hugo, I'll let you come up with your plan of attack, and we can have all 3 things resolve what each of your 3 actions are gonna be.
So Hugo is essentially going to go into angry monk mode, for lack of a better explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's in a bad mood now.
This thing messed your mind.
And he just wants it gone. So he's going to go in swinging, but specifically he's going to use magic to try to remove a curse. And he's going to try to punch curses out of whatever this thing is.
Oh, Hugo. That's dope as hell. All right. Raven, do you have a tactic you want to use? And then we'll do these rolls and resolve stuff.
I will use magic and try to trap a specific person, minion, or monster. I'm going to try and use the vines against the Flatwoods Monster to just like freeze it, kind of. Not like literally cold freeze, but like restrain it a little bit to give everyone else an advantage.
Sure. Okay. I like this.
I believe in my own regular magic more now, so I want to try and use it.
Yeah. Everyone roll your moves. Whittaker, you are going to kick some ass. Hugo, you are using combat magic to remove a curse, I guess. It's kind of a weird combo move there.
Nah, it's just the regular magic.
It's plus weird either way. And Raven, you are also rolling plus your weird for magic. And I will say, as you guys all make your rolls, Damien, the Guardian is once again like pushed up against a tree. You've been feeding them spark energy to try and help. But as you see the Flatwoods Monster turn its full attention on the Guardian, and thorns and brambles extend from its back and begin to lance towards Ray, you can't do anything to stop it because that would be engaging. And you see this thing about to tear the spectral ghost apart. And stepping out of the golden barrier, first we see Whittaker. Some kind of shotgun or something, I would assume, you have available to you, Whittaker.
I was not going to use the gun if it had not been established that Damien had not enchanted anything for him.
Oh, you know what?
Can throw you the sword.
Yeah, Damien, you throw him the sword?
Oh, I was going to use the knife, but I like sword better.
I love sword, yeah.
Oh, we love sword.
I prefer the sword.
Damien, you see Whittaker step out of the barrier and you just toss him Elias Eastie's sword.
Looks like Alonso's getting knighted after all, babes.
Indeed.
One take.
Yeah, Hugo emerges from the barrier, his tattoos lighting up, forming just like gauntlets like of electricity and ice just forming around your hands, ready to like punch a curse away. And Raven, you also step out, hands glowing with the silver magic and directing it at the Flatwoods.
Windy on my shoulder.
Oh, what a cool scene. I love this.
Is this our Avengers stepping out of the portals moment?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it is.
Whittaker, what did you roll on Kick Some Ass?
Whittaker rolled an 11, and his goal is like, if it's vines and roots and things that is blocking something, he's just gonna start doing some fucking weed whacking. Separating whatever this is from the ground, from the vines.
I love this. Yeah, what's your extra effect for rolling a 10 plus?
The extra effect, I imagine it's, would it be get them where I want them? As in, like, off of the celestial?
And away from Ray, probably.
Away from Ray, absolutely.
Yeah, so Whittaker, you run in, and this sword, when you swing it, hums and sings through the air. And it seems to just like sever anything in its way, no matter the thickness of the root or, you know, the like number of branches in its path. You just cleave through these things. Hugo, you rush up behind Whittaker, fist glowing. What did you roll on use magic?
Also blessed with an 11.
Okay. There's no glitch, which is good. You leap onto one of the trailing vines or like root structures as Whittaker hacks through it, and you're going for the Flatwoods? Like to just deck it?
Yep.
Okay.
Right in the mask.
You bring your fist into its chest, and a pulse of golden lightning goes through it, and you do see pieces of the Flatwoods burn away or disintegrate, revealing a normal-looking person underneath the monstrous form that is here. In fact, I'll say you do like a 1-2, and you punch it in the chest, its arm reaches for you, Hugo, and you throw up a block, and as the hand collides with that, it pulls back, and the whole arm on that side of the Flatwoods just breaks apart and falls, and a normal proportioned humanoid arm limply hangs at its side. And Raven?
I rolled a 9, which is fine.
Yep. There will be a glitch. Unless, Damien, you want to help out?
Yes. I was thinking of doing something, the stupidest thing I've ever done, but they could do this first.
Sure.
13.
Damien!
And that's advanced, so...
That gives Raven a 12.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on.
Anders, I want to kiss you.
Yes.
All right, cool. I'll keep going.
Raven, magic is advanced for you on a 12, correct?
Yes.
Incredible. Can you pull up your list of cards? I want you to look in the circles suit, suit of the earth.
Okay.
What card do you want to pull?
Oh.
Rather, what spirit would you like assistance from?
Ooh, you get to choose.
Could I get the 3 of circles? I think it works really well with what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah, I think it does. You reach your hand forward and silver threads extend from your fingertips, and you hear a voice sort of beside you, and for a moment you can see the ghostly form of the spider spirit, the spirit of works. And she is a woman with dark skin and white markings on her face, 6 of them, as if to create 8 eyes. Dark black braids, knotted and tied in intricate designs that cascade behind her, and a shimmering white cloak made of the same silver threads. And she says, "Such untidy stitching." And the threads begin to lash and create tension points and extend and split and branch out and form a web that, as the Flatwoods Monster struggles against Whittaker and Hugo, who continue to battle it physically, you begin to grab an arm, lash it to a tree where it is restrained. The branches that strike for your friends are pulled and bent back until they snap and are spun up like flies in a web, just cocooned instantly and pulled off to the side, shunted away, as you and the spider spirit weave a trap for this monster.
Question.
Yes, Damien.
You said that the arm of the Flatwoods, once it was broken, was sort of like a regular person arm.
Mm-hmm.
Can I heal the person arm?
You'd have to get really close.
I mean, I'd have to get in close, and that's why I think it's like really dumb. But also, I feel like healing is not an aggressive form of truce breaking.
Yes, you're correct in that assumption. You might want to wait and try that in a little bit, because your friends are here now to engage it as a monster, meaning you are now being harried less by its attacks because it's focused on the bigger threats now, the people that can actually fight back. I would keep that in mind, but if you want to heal this thing, then I think...
No, that's a good narration point that this is still a very large, viney, powerful creature capable of striking at multiple people simultaneously.
There's still a lot of thorns on this thing, and they haven't pruned it completely yet. That being said, you can see inside the barrier as Mira continues to deflect attacks from Aidan's monstrous form that seem to be striking at Felicity. But now Mira seems to be tiring.
Then in that case, Damien would call out to Mira to try to heal Mira, not in a health way, but in a caffeine or adrenaline kind of way.
Okay, how do you see this playing out?
I would just calling out, "Come to the edge of the barrier real quick," and then charge up the healing power of the spark to try to give her some extra energy.
Sure, okay. Mira looks back at you, sees what you are conjuring, grits her teeth, and gives you a grim nod, and then she Faye steps and sort of hits the edge of the barrier and lands on the ground, but her hand falls through the barrier, so her hand is outside of it.
I actually do need to stop making rolls. This is getting risky. 9.
9. Okay.
I'll take the another harm. That's been going fine so far.
It's tiring work giving up all the spark essence through you, but you touch Mira's hand and her eyes shoot open like she has just gotten a jolt of adrenaline, injected into her. And you hear her whisper, "Felicity?" Mira knows what this power feels like. The spark in you is familiar, Damien. You find yourself, Felicity, after that last scene where Aidan clutched her head and the vision broke away. You are on a stretch of green grass that fades into starlight and nebulaic space, similar to the space you entered when you helped Aidan unlock her angelic powers.
Mm-hmm.
You look around. There's not much here, but you hear Aidan's voice say, "Aisling?" And Aisling turns around, and you can both now see, as you look over your shoulder, Aidan and this tall woman standing together. The more muscle-bound warrior woman has an arm around Aidan's shoulder, and Aisling just takes a couple steps forward.
Mom?
"It's okay, Aisling. Come here." And Aidan just extends a gentle hand out, and she runs to the two of them. Now, Felicity, you can see as you look at them, they embrace. There is something beyond that portrait of the three of them. On the plane of stars, in the shimmering void, off the patch of grass, Aidan is sitting. She's in her modern attire. She looks extremely tired, and her face is red, as if she's been crying.
Mm-hmm.
Aisling looks back at you, and she's also crying, but her tears have turned to happy tears. And she smiles and looks back at you, and she says,
"It wasn't all bad, Felicity. We were happy too."
"Felicity, I need you to roll 2d6.
9.
What's half your luck that you have remaining?"
Oh, I have all of my luck remaining except for 1.
Would that be 6 total luck?
Yes.
And half of that would be 3?
Yes.
If you add that to your 9, it becomes a 12. When Aisling turns to you and you see her being hugged by Aidan and this tall warrior woman smiling at the two of them, suddenly memories start to race into your mind. You're in a cradle. You look up and over. You see the warrior woman humming as she rocks you. You're in a field of flowers chasing a butterfly. You see Aidan in one of the Tuatha De Danann robes following you as you play amongst the wildflowers. More happy moments of you and Aidan and Freya, your other mom. And then you remember the attack on your home after Aidan and Freya had said, "We have to go deal. There's something going on with the Giant King." And the people of your village who had begun to grow nervous around you when you were manifesting your magic and scaring them. And certain people of the community thought that you were a danger, and they came after you. You remember your magic going wild as you grew scared and tried to defend yourself. And then the end, that hail of arrows. Felicity.
Mm-hmm.
Aisling.
Mm-hmm.
Both names are correct now, somehow.
Okay.
You are standing in that starry expanse.
Uh-huh.
And Aisling is back in front of you now. She's got your hands in her hands. And it's almost like you can feel a heartbeat in your hands. And you realize it is completely in sync with your own. You remember it all now. Your first life. And Aisling says to you,
"So now you know. They tried their best, but they couldn't save us."
And the two images of Aidan and Freya shimmer and disappear. What do you do?
I was gonna do a little bit of a metagame intro for this.
Uh-huh.
Who is this girl Staring straight back at me.
That's cute.
What's around me? Is it?
You are standing with Aisling in front of you, like the image of her holding your hands, which is weird because that's you. You see yourself in her now. Also, Felicity, you think back to all the times you've interacted with Aidan, all her worrying over you, all of her wanting to protect you, her getting super defensive about you. All of that is clicking into place now, like little puzzle pieces. Just forming a clear picture of the connection between you two.
I know exactly what I'm going to ask, and it's going to be a real hard question.
Go ahead. Aidan is over there. You can ask it. You can ask Aisling anything. This is your space now.
I'm asking Aisling, what about my actual mom?
Aisling looks a little puzzled, and she says,
I don't know, but I guess we had to come back.
Do you mind if I take a second?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
She will hug you around your waist.
I'm glad I got to meet you.
I'm so glad I got to meet you too. Are you going now?
I'm not quite sure.
Maybe I'll come back, but if you're gone by then, it was life-changing to be able to meet you. In some way, things make more sense, and in some way, things make less sense. But I'm glad it happened.
Your world's quite different from mine.
Yeah, you can say that again.
I hope you can make the most of our second chance.
I'm doing my best to. I really am. And I think I'm doing pretty good.
Felicity, what do you do about Aidan? You'll recall that this all started with you attempting a big magic to try and save her from this corruption.
Yep, that's where I'm going next to is Aidan.
Okay. If you move to approach her, Aisling just holds your hand and walks up with you.
Hey.
She doesn't respond to just that greeting. She has her wings draped in front of her, almost like a shawl with the long pinions extended forward.
I know about us. She's told me. She's told me what I am and what we are, and please talk to me about it.
Aidan stirs and looks up at you. Her eyes are red.
I'm sorry for everything. I was scared.
Don't be sorry. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing, and I'm used to weird things happening to me.
I should be, though. I lied to you. I thought if you knew you died because I couldn't protect you, I thought you'd hate me.
What do you mean you couldn't protect me? You did your best. I saw it, and you did everything that you could, and I'm back.
I figured you wouldn't want me around, even though I just got you back.
Aidan, I saw in my visions and just now traveling through memories, I saw how hard you fought, how angry you were, and I saw how much you would do for Aisling, how much you wanted to avenge her. I saw all of that.
Not only that, Felicity, you experienced it firsthand as Aisling.
So I do have the experiences of Aisling now within me.
Yes.
Okay.
You remember growing up amongst the Tuatha De Danann. You remember your mothers, Freya and Aidan, two powerful magical warriors who defended your village from monsters and danger and would communicate with the folk and the spirits who would visit and entreat with the village leaders.
Okay.
You remember growing up from the age of, let's say, 3, when you start to form memories, to 11 or so when everything ended tragically. But you remember all of that now, as well as you can remember your own childhood as Felicity, growing up in Autumn Falls, going to camp, meeting Ghosty and Tom, all the times with your mom. Like, that's all merged now. It's like you have 2 periods of childhood in your life. that are just the same level of accessible to you.
Aidan, I remember all of it. I remember being Aisling now. I remember being there, and I witnessed how hard you fought for me and how protective you were of me and how hard you tried.
She looks up at you and her voice chokes. She says,
What if I fail again? I still don't feel strong enough, even though I've got the second chance.
Listen.
I'm supposed to protect all of humanity, and I couldn't even keep you safe.
It's not you. I'm very much a different case. I am ridiculed because of my strangeness. I am outcast by even people who are into the same thing as me because of my power. Like, I can do so much more of them and they're scared of me. And I can help myself so much more than I used to be able to.
Felicity.
Yes.
Aisling, you now remember Aidan initially, in your first life, tried to help you control your magic. She and Freya worked with you for hours every day once it started to manifest to try and help you understand it and practice shaping and controlling the things you were able to do. And you remember some of that same hesitation and fear from the both of them around your use of magic, because even back then, they could not explain how you were doing the things you were doing. But it's very different for a young adult to learn magic and choose to go on dangerous adventures than it is for someone who is 11 to try and grasp and understand that process. And you figure the only reason that it went differently this time was Angela. The fact that you got to live a normal life. Mostly normal. Not quite ordinary. You had a not quite ordinary life, but normal enough that you didn't really get pulled into this world of danger and magic until you were mature enough to be able to handle it. And Aidan just looks at the two of you, Felicity and Aisling, together there. And she just says,
I'm so sorry, Aisling.
And she lunges forward and wraps her arms around the little girl at your side that's holding your hand. And you can feel her arms around you at the exact same time. You feel Aisling squeeze your hand. There's a flash of light. And when the light dims, you and Aidan are alone, and she's hugging you. And she's just got you so tight. You felt this kind of hug from Angela before, but now Aidan's got you. And she says,
I never should have kept it from you, Felicity.
I get it. It's a little weird.
Just a little.
So, like, are you my mom now?
I don't know. I don't understand why you're back. I'm just grateful. I love you, Felicity. You're not her, but I see her in you all the time. You're a miracle.
Thanks. I'll try to be, I guess.
I guess maybe so should I.
Yeah, you got this whole scary demon thing happening right now. Maybe you should try to get rid of that, huh?
Can I get some help?
Of course.
All right. I'm going to have Aidan roll.
Who's my second? Wait, everyone's saying third mom. Who's my second mom?
You have Freya as your mom, too.
Oh, well, Freya's my third mom. Aidan's my second mom.
Wow. Wow.
Fair.
That's fair. Felicity's personality is more forward. Angela gets the number one slot.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm going to roll plus Aidan's weird. If you want to roll another plus Felicity's weird.
10.
She got a 9. She's going to burn some luck.
Damn.
Ooh. That's the vibe.
Yeah. She closes her eyes. her wings circle around the two of you, and you hold each other's hands, and they start to hum with golden energy. Felicity, you are a young girl from an ancient village. You are the strange kid from Autumn Falls. You are the daughter of a warrior, the daughter of a celestial, and the daughter of an ER nurse. And all of that rushes through you. You get a very quick glimpse behind Aidan of a being covered in a mantle of flowers, leaves, with golden eyes peering out from a mask of bark with antlers.
Is this God?
This is the spirit you talk to on occasion.
Oh, the one from the woods.
Yep.
When I was a kid, right?
Yeah. And recently. But this gold energy is forming this bright spark in between you and Aidan's hands. Your hands are being pushed apart as the magic gathers and draws there. And you feel yourself drawing on more and more and more of this magic. Aidan fully alights. She looks the same as when she was destroying the village, but her eyes are not angry anymore. They're just locked on you. Her wings fill out and also illuminate from within. And from behind, you hear the spirit's voice call out,
Your failures do not make you weak, First Light. And great tragedy did not destroy you. You are loved, and you are stronger than you have ever been.
That spark of energy expands and encompasses both of you, Felicity. And Aidan looks back over her shoulder, final tear dripping down her face.
Thanks, Mom.
And she looks back at you, Felicity.
She's kind of your grandma, I suppose.
I love it.
Oh, it's so good.
And the camera just goes bright with white light. We return to the battle against the Flatwoods Monster as Whittaker, Raven, Hugo, and Damien struggle to contain and restrain this corrupted celestial. Does anyone have anything they would like to do as we return to that fight?
There's runes.
There's runes?
Inspired by what he saw in his dreams and such, or whatever that stuff was.
Yeah, okay.
There's now runes getting put into those punches, and they're just popping up places.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey, Hugo, can I have, one instance of you tag teaming with Whittaker and turning Damocles into a lightning rod very briefly?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yo! That's fucking sick. Yeah, what does that look like? Oh, geez.
Raven's doing cool spider stuff to get it in the right spot to hit with the sword. Teaming up with cool spider lady because she's awesome.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I love this, yeah. Hugo, you have been striking at the Flatwoods, blowing away the curse with the force of your arcane might, leaving brands now in the form that remain as these raised glyphs. And you hear in your mind Dr. Kabe's voice.
Yes, I think it's time we show off a little bit. The missus is watching.
I was typing it in the F chat. Does Dr. Kabe know cool spider lady?
They absolutely know each other.
Oh, they know each other.
These two.
Oh.
These two are, dare I say, familiar.
They might be roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
I'm sorry, I smacked my table a bunch. I got excited.
That's okay. Hugo, you feel your head turn gently, slightly, just to look at Whittaker, who is charging down a bunch of vines and plant life. But it looks like he's maybe going to be overwhelmed, so you reach out towards the sword. What does it look like?
Well, Whittaker, what does it look like?
No, you cast the spell. He'll get to attack with it.
Well, here's a question. Does Whittaker plan on doing a spin move at any point in time in this?
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a sword. Hell yeah, he's gonna spin with the sword.
So, first, lightning is going to start to appear around the blade itself, and then as it's embedding into the blade, it's kind of etching it at the same time, and then bits of frost are starting to fill into the etching.
Very cool.
There's a crack of thunder overhead, and then bam.
Yeah.
Whittaker does his cool spin move.
Are you more of a Shazam or more of a Power of Grayskull?
You know the Critical Role opening for Campaign 2 where it's just Yasha ducking under Jester, doing a big slash and another slash and the big honkin' stab into the ground. So I'm seeing Whittaker do this, doing the stab, and there's a big crack of lightning overhead, and the runes on the sword glow, and lightning just strikes the sword in the earth, absolutely electrifying the Flatwoods Monster.
Strikes the sword, crackles up through Flatwoods, which shrieks. Smoke rising out of one of the eyes of the mask that it wears. And yeah, Raven, as it falters in this moment, you maybe hear a conversation happening in the back of your mind, like one side of it. The spider spirit is saying,
Gabe, darling, you take care of that boy, you hear me?
And your threads of spider silk begin to wrap around Flatwoods and restrain them, and they are pulled to the ground, ripped from the vines, suspending them from the tree line, and now just on the ground like a ground spider's web. It begins to rapidly crisscross like a cross stitch or embroidery and just start to cover the Flatwoods in this webbing. And they seem to be moving a lot less after these multiple magical attacks. And just so they're included in this heroic moment, the Guardian rises up behind the three of you, fox fireball in their hand, and they say,
I'm sorry for your pain, friend, but we cannot allow you to threaten the conduit. It's over!
And the foxfire flies into the Flatwoods creature and fully engulfs them. Raven, your spider threads do not burn. They just glisten with more of your silver magic. But from within the cocoon, you hear and a hissing and popping as the sound of wood in a fire crackles. Felicity, you are within Damien's barrier. You drop to the ground. That green fairy light settles into the grass and disappears, and Mira catches you. Your eyes flutter open.
Aidan's my mom?
Mira blinks and says, that would explain a lot.
Is she okay?
And you see the Flatwoods form of Aidan in the air, suspended, but not moving. And then there is a piercing ray of gold light that cracks around her chest. Aidan erupts from the wooden bark that had started to encase her and her wings.
Yes!
And drops to the ground. Her wings immediately flare out behind her, and she looks ahead at you and says, let's finish this. And all of you see Felicity, Mira, and Aidan step out of the golden barrier that Damien had erected to protect you all.
Yes!
Damien, you had wanted to try a healing of some sort.
Yes, especially as this poor thing has gotten the shit kicked out of it.
Aidan walks towards the Flatwoods Monster, and you can approach at the same time.
Glad to have you back.
Thanks for looking after everyone.
Yeah, no problem. World's better off with all ya. Let's, see if we can get this one back up. You know him?
Yeah, I know him. And she will reach a golden hand out towards the Flatwoods Monster. Let's roll lay on hands together.
And this is where I fail, after all my good rolls.
Don't jinx it.
No, we'll see. We'll see. It's an 11.
Oh!
Aidan got an 8, plus her cool is also an 11.
So many 11s.
Make a wish, baby.
She puts a hand on the Flatwood creature's chest. You put a hand. Are you in humanoid form at this point?
Nah, slime is fun.
So gloopy. Okay, so you put a gloopy tendril over hers. She doesn't flinch, but she just smiles, and the two of you pulse healing golden energy into the Flatwoods creature. That gold light that burst out of Aidan when she broke free of this corruption also shines out of the mask of the Flatwoods monster, which cracks in half and crumbles away and reveals the face of another celestial, another young woman-looking humanoid. Her hair, which kind of falls out in long, loose waves, is a light green, like a pastel light green. Her eyes fade from that yellowy, sickly green to a verdant emerald. Her skin is dark copper, and she exhales as the spider threads disappear on a breeze. You see Windy off to the side, blowing between their two little raccoon paws. And Aidan and you, Damien, lower the Flatwoods creature, now another celestial, down into the grass. They stir, their eyes flutter open, and they say,
Aidan? What?
Aidan just rests a hand on this other angel's shoulder. I missed you. And this other angel weakly goes and holds Aidan's hand, and they just sit there for a moment, and then they blink and they go, What happened? Is the war over? Aidan frowns. She says, It's over, Ariel. But nobody won. What do you mean? Aidan, I don't. And a golden shaft of light streaks down from the sky, envelops Ariel, and she vanishes in a flash.
No. Oh.
And Aidan exhales, and she is kneeling there by herself, once again the only celestial on the earth. Damien, your barrier flickers away. What do you all do?
Raven's gonna walk up and put a hand on Aidan's shoulder. She's not gonna say anything.
She doesn't say anything immediately either. She crosses her chest with her arm and holds your hand with hers, squeezes it tightly.
I am also gonna walk up to Aidan.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put my hand on her other shoulder.
She just wraps her arm around you now.
And I'll just say, Hey, I know.
I know.
Okay.
And she'll stand up and look back at the rest of her friends, at Inari and Mira, and she just kind of laughs as her eyes well up again. Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you're all okay.
Fuck, that sucked.
Yeah, okay is generous.
I need you to do me a favor. Don't ever do that again.
Never again.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Everybody else, too. Don't ever do that.
Don't worry, if the dog runs off, I'm not going after it.
Damien!
If the dog runs off next time, just let me go and get her. It's fine.
We're all going together. No more getting separated.
Aidan looks over at you, Whittaker, and she gives you a very meaningful glance and then looks at Felicity, and she says, I think there's a lot we all have to talk about.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I think there is.
Well, have fun with that, and Damien will start to walk off back to the trailer.
Damien, you're not exempt from this.
I didn't want to eavesdrop.
Damien, come back. You got to hear this too.
Damien, you're welcome to join us.
Damien, please stay.
Damien will walk back to the group.
You're a part of this group, too.
Thank you.
What would you all like to talk about? We don't have to role play it. We're getting kind of towards the end of the session, but what does everyone share?
Aidan, is this okay for me to share?
Yeah, I think so.
You might as well start with the big one.
What is going on?
So, I met myself
Felicity is reincarnated.
Yeah, myself is Aidan's daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, I'm still taking it in. Like, what happens to my real mom? Is she my real mom? Is my real mom my fake mom? I don't know.
Angela's absolutely still your mom.
Felicity, rejoice in the fact that you have so many parents.
I have so many parents.
Some protagonists get no parents.
That's not the kind of story we're telling.
No.
You get bonus parents.
But yeah, it's like Aidan's my mom's my mom. Also, some other crazy buff warrior woman. Oh my god, you should have seen her.
I have.
Wait, what? Whittaker, you knew?
Yeah, Felicity, that is news. Whittaker knew this.
Whittaker has been nodding the entire time you've been talking.
Here's the crazy thing. She had Ross's sword.
Yep.
Whittaker!
Yeah. Hey, I'm really glad this is out in the open now because I was about to say something at some point. I almost let it slip tonight.
I'm really sorry. I asked him not to tell you.
What is it about us keeping secrets from people again?
We do it too much.
We all keep a lot of secrets.
We do it far too much.
You don't get to talk.
I keep no secrets.
That's honestly the truest thing that's been said.
Yeah, Felicity, you are incredibly honest, and I respect you for that.
Open book.
Yeah, Whittaker, why can't you be more honest?
Because Aidan asked me to not say anything, and it was not... Okay, it was immediately relevant quite often. Aidan, I'm not gonna let you...
But it wasn't your place to tell.
That's fair.
I was scared. I asked him not to.
What were you scared of?
We talked about this in the vision. This is already devolving into like a family fight again. So, what personal secrets do each of you share with the group? Let's just go around, because Felicity, you saw young Whittaker in the vision.
Oh, wait, can I mention that?
I thought you were already alluding to it. I was so ready.
I'm gonna mention that.
Okay.
Hey, Whittaker, I saw you as a young person? I'm not saying that you're old.
He's old.
Hugo.
No, he's middle-aged at least.
Actually, out of curiosity, Felicity, how old do you think I am?
Like 53?
After all of the very big dramatic secrets that have been revealed, it's frankly embarrassing. This one, I am 28 years old, and I turn 29 in a week.
What?
Happy birthday.
But I saw... So, like, was young Whittaker, like, 10?
When you saw young Whittaker in Aidan's idealized version of your life in the present...
That was a joke.
I was making a joke as Felicity, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know young Whittaker was not, like, 10.
Okay, gotcha.
So you're young?
Do you remember when you all first asked about vampires? Long time ago, when you first came to the EC agency.
It was ages ago, yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
And I mentioned that they could steal years as opposed to blood or life force. That wasn't entirely true. Only one vampire I've ever met has been able to do that, and they did it to me. We don't really know exactly how many years were taken. It's not entirely easy to calculate.
Whoa.
We're supposed to just be saying what we reveal.
Natalie, you cannot stop the roleplay. You should know this about us by now.
The roleplay is powerful.
If you say, we're not going to roleplay this, we hear roleplay, and we start acting it out.
It's fine. That's fine.
I do really enjoy this conversation, though. I'm glad we had these actual reactions to the reveal. Because holy shit.
No, I like this too. Hugo, do you have any secrets you reveal?
Yeah, he probably just explains the entire Kabe thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Because Whittaker already knows, Raven already knows.
Mm-hmm. Aidan is already suspicious.
Yep.
Whittaker would have mentioned that in his vision, he saw Hugo become completely taken over by Kabe and needs to know, like, how much of that was a real life possibility and how much of it was just nightmare fuel for Whittaker specifically.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
It was nightmare fuel for the both of you.
Anything's possible.
The Hugo in my vision, was that the same?
There might have been some blending of visions.
Oh.
Hugo, do you share the person who you now have a clue for? Do you share that little story?
You know what? Cards on the table? Yeah. He shares it all.
You have a clue?
So you all are told about this person with the curly red hair, or I shouldn't say curly, like the wavy red hair.
I was gonna be like, it's me.
Not Felicity. Yeah, like wavy, deep red hair.
From his visions that he can't see there, or not visions, from his memories?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to do a line for you, Hugo. The very last thing you heard as that like light shone and you escaped the nightmare vision was, "Shade of my heart, find me."
What?
Holy shit.
So that's something you are also aware of.
Oh my god.
That'll be fine.
You don't have to share that little tidbit. You can share that this person seemed very upset that you forgot them.
Yeah, that's gonna be the one thing he doesn't share, probably.
Yeah.
That's fair. I respect that.
Oh, Hugo.
Damien, I don't know that you have any secrets to share. You were kind of just on defensive duty the whole time and did a damn good job of it.
Did Damien not even get a vision? He's just been...
He was out of the bubble.
Damien was outside the bubble. He never got affected by the fear spores.
Wow.
Just defense.
I have so much to tell you guys.
Yeah. Raven, you didn't really have secrets in your vision to like reveal. It was more just like insecurity stuff.
I think she'd kind of share those. If we're in a sharing mood with secrets, we're talking about the visions with each other. She'd definitely reveal that she's not confident in her own magic ability and also afraid of it, but also relies on it too much. And she's afraid of murdering people by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Mainly Aidan.
You share those insecurities, you know, how like you rely on your deck, but it scares you. And I think Wendy just kind of like pads up and sits in your lap for that little share session.
Mm.
And yeah, Aidan will fully explain or, you know, summarize her life with Freya and how they had Aisling and lost her and how Felicity came back into her life seemingly at random, but has led you all down on this path you've been on somewhat.
When did Aidan know that Felicity was Aisling? Was it like the first time they met? Did she know as soon as Felicity was born that she was out there somewhere? Like, how did she know?
It sounds like a cop-out to say it, but she just had a feeling. Because the first interaction Felicity and Aidan ever had technically didn't ever actually happen in the podcast.
So they're saving her life.
You'll recall that Felicity saved Aidan's life by pulling her back onto the curb.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep, that was a thing I did.
And so Aidan wasn't struck by like an oncoming bit of traffic. What Aidan will reveal is that the reason she was about to step out into the road in that moment is because Azazel was taunting her in the reflection of a window across the street.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
Every once in a while, Azazel shows up in Aidan's life and is mean to her and tries to goad her into doing something or, you know, being hurt somehow. And that was what was going on. But as Aidan like stepped into the road to be like, listen, Felicity grabbed the back of her jacket and pulled her back, and then vroom, car went by. That was their first interaction. And ever since then, Aidan had just kind of been like, something about this girl. And then when she was sure of it was when Felicity turned off gravity for the first time, when you were training your magic in the field and when Wendy got summoned.
Yep.
Did you roleplay Aidan realizing it and we just didn't know what she was...
Yeah, I like say that Aidan is very unnerved and like surprised when Felicity does that. And like to anyone listening at the time, it's just like, oh, she's weirded out because gravity turned off. But like, no, Aidan was like, oh my God, it is her in that moment.
Hell yeah. Okay. I love that.
You guys have this heart to heart. Everyone shares a lot of the secrets you've been keeping from your group. And I think it's like a big sigh of relief. Like not only have you avoided another demon attack, but all that tension is like really released now. There's still all the problems on your plate. There's still the issue of what are we going to do about Damien? But at least for this night, your group is no longer at each other's throats. Because you can't be. You've only got each other in this fight.
Whittaker does not share the reason that he could not save them during the snipe adventure.
Oh,
that is not a secret.
Yeah, you said you were busy. I don't know what you were busy doing.
That secret doesn't have to be shared.
Not all secrets. Not all secrets.
That secret doesn't have to be shared. That's fine.
That's fair.
But yeah, you guys make camp again, head to bed.
Clean up as best we can.
Mm-hmm.
Hugo spends the night getting water out of clouds in the air to put into a bucket so that they can fill up the radiator.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
Raven. Everyone's settling down. Aidan is outside the trailer, and she calls to you. Raven, could I talk to you?
Yeah, of course. What's up?
So, I'm done hiding things from the people I care about. And if things had gone differently tonight, it would have felt really awful that I never said anything.
Oh my god.
I like you, Raven. I have for a while.
Raven's struggling to hear in this moment because her heart's beating so fast. It's like roaring in her ears. And so she's concentrating really hard on what Aidan is saying because she's freaking out.
She just takes your hand. I realize I might not have forever to figure out the right way to say it, so I don't know if it's what you want, but if you did, I'd choose you. If you'd have me.
Yeah, she's speechless for a little bit. Raven takes her hand, and I think they just start to not like leave the camp, but like wander a little bit away together. I thought I lost you there for a bit. I thought it was my fault, but I feel the same way. And I don't want to keep dancing around it and not ever say anything. The only reason I didn't say anything is because you're an angel, and I'm just a human. And you've been alive for so long and known so many people. You clearly have this super amazing wife, and I don't ever want to replace her. I would never want that. But I care about you a lot, and
she puts a hand on your shoulder.
I'm sorry.
And she leans in. You can see she's blushing just as badly as you. Could I kiss you right now?
Mm-hmm.
And you two kiss. She embraces you and holds you so tightly, as if she was afraid you might disappear. Her wings manifest behind her and wrap down around the two of you, but you're caught up in the warm amber of her eyes as she looks back into yours. And she gently rests her forehead against yours and whispers, "No more secrets."
No more secrets.
And our camera pans up from the two of you into a clear night sky. And that's where we'll end our session.
We did it! It's canon!
It's canon now!
Finally!
Oh my god.
You know what that feels like? The end of a mystery.